Bro, I'm so lazy, bro. But nah, this is day 6 of studying the Bible until I'm becoming more like Jesus. So thank God, by God's grace, I just finishing up Matthew chapter 11. And I just want to apologize because I missed one day. I did not finish it by yesterday due to procrastination, laziness, and personally it's just a me problem. So I really hope that I can really be accountable to everyone who was watching this so that I can continue to persevere and not lose to the temptation of the devil. Because the more we want to work towards God, the more Satan will work to pull us away. And in chapter 11, the gospel really reminded me of the profound struggles of aligning God's kingdom to human expectation. I believe you guys know about John the Baptist. This person have a very strict ascetic lifestyle, but instead people are accusing him of having demons in him. And next is Jesus. People look at him as someone who is really approachable and very inclusive, but people still accuse him of being a glutton and being a drunkard. So what do we learn today? A hard-hearted people will always find an excuse to reject God's goodness and His gentleness. Because God, true wisdom, is portrayed by the fruit of the Spirit, and also the transformation of own life. On verse 28 to 24, Jesus renounces woe unto unrepentant city, which is the Jewish city in Galilean town. All those people in the city, they have prime access to Jesus. They saw the miracles that Jesus do, all the healings, but instead of repenting and turning away from the sin, they just treat it as a mere performance. So it is a warning that God gave us that seeing God's power doesn't really equals to true faith. But instead, privilege brings more responsibilities. Because just like Matthew 10, freely we receive, freely we must give. The more spiritual revelation that God gives us, it is our responsibilities to share it to the people who are in need. And the word woe doesn't really means like a outburst of anger or a very serious judgment. But instead, it is God mourning over the people who still stubbornly choosing the darkness in their life instead of following His kingdom, even though they have received the good news. It really shows that even people already gave up. People are still stubborn. People, their heart are still hardened. God still not give up on them. And finally, Jesus called out to all who are weary and burdened. Jesus called them to take up His yoke. So in the ancient world, a yoke is a wooden harness that placed over oxen to help them pull a plow. It is often connecting a younger, inexperienced ox with a stronger, experienced ox. So imagine we are the inexperienced, weak ox, and Jesus is the one who is stronger and more mature. So instead of saying, just surrender our struggles to Him and carry His yoke and just do nothing effortlessly is wrong. Because the true meaning is, Jesus will take our share of struggles and God will journey with us. And by taking God's yoke, in first century metaphor, it means discipleship. So to take His yoke is to learn God's way of gentleness and grace because it brings profound peace and rest to the soul.